tutorial.
Time now is 11:47 and they would like us away by 12.
And this is us leaving Monaco. What an absolute stunning setting. And because we weren't in the Grand Prix marina, it meant that we were able to have good walks. We have done a fair few miles. There's the Capitanery. And we're going this way. So there's the cathedral at the top where we visited. And this huge building is the Oceanic Museum. Very, very impressive. Well, we're caught up in a bit of a race here.
It's definitely a regatta situation.
Yeah, well, we saw it advertised, didn't we, yesterday? But we were just not quite sure which way we're supposed to be going. There's boats all over the place. We don't want to get in the way of anybody.
No, we're getting close to this one.
These wooden ones are just beautiful.
You going in?
I am.
Very clear, isn't it?
Just watching out for jellyfish.
I don't think there'll be any in here.
We need now to take the Monaco flag down.
Crystal clear blue water. So this is heading into the Ligurian Sea. Ligures took over this part of the world. Good morning from Menton. Rain in the night. Some rain forecast today with some thunderstorms. Beautiful sky though. Dramatic. The picturesque town of Menton is our last port of call on the Côte D'Azur, France, before entering Italian waters. The border post is a 10-minute cycle ride from the old harbour and offers good views across the bay to the town. We had 6-month multi-entry tourist visas for France and wanted to follow process by getting our passports stamped out of the country. No one was interested, so I gave up trying and cycled back to explore the popular covered market. Sheena then set off in search of fresh food. You know, I like to think we're pretty organised when we're on our travels in the boat. In fact, organising our travels wherever we go. But it's amazing how much stuff you accumulate when you keep coming back to the same place. It's all necessary. I'm sure it is. But anyway, I'm trying to find Sheena's bike lock. Yeah, most of the contents are now in the saloon. Still haven't found it though, but I can't lock my bike up. It's outside on the quayside. Better go and check it's still there. It's blowing a bit this morning. Anyway, I'll have to put all this stuff back. Thought I'd just check out this bag here, which is the beach bag, swimming costume, swim shorts, and guess what? That's really just typical, isn't it? The last place. Right, I can go and lock up my bike now. We have a wind that's a force 5, occasionally gusting 6. Yeah, blowing the boats around a little bit. Taking the line off the boat from touching the boat to our starboard because the bow lights are not stopping it. The swell is rolling into the harbour. Wow, yeah, that's going to get some speed up.
Oh well.
Is it wet down there?
Yes.
Oh dear. You left that hatch open. Oops.
You forget about that one, don't we?
Yeah.
You think it's inside.
The thing is, we're not used to the rain either.
What is rain?
Cup of tea time, I think.
It's not the customer. I don't know who is. No. You're right. Really? Are you sure? I don't know. Okay. I asked my friend, is it your paper? No.
During our exploring in Menton, we stumbled upon a promenade display of information about the game of rugby. We didn't know that Menton was the final resting place of William Webb Ellis and set out to find it. Menton is said to be the prettiest town on the French Riviera, affectionately called the Pearl of France. Les Rampes Saint-Michel climb up from the promenade to Place Saint-Michel and the Basilica. The resting place of well-to-do Victorian visitors is at the top of the hill where the old castle once stood. So what have you found?
Webb Ellis's memorial.
Yeah.
And Johnny Wilkinson stood here.
Oh yeah.
Exactly in this spot.
With the World Cup.
The World Cup just there.
Yeah.
Qualification pour cette Coupe du Monde.
We didn't know this, did we?
We didn't. Brian just goes there. Jason White, Scotland.
Got quite a nice view.
Yeah, very nice view.
What would this quiet clergyman think if he knew that a sporting World Cup were named after him? William was born in Salford 1806. His father, James Ellis, was killed in the Peninsular War 1st of July 1812. His mother, Anne Webb, now widowed, was living on a small allowance. She moved to the town of Rugby for her sons to school there free of charge. The rough game of football played at the school was nothing like the game of soccer we know today. There were only a handful of sketchy rules, one of which allowed the ball to be caught if kicked into the air. The catcher shouted mark, and the opposition were allowed to advance only as far as the marked place on the pitch. The catcher would then retreat as far as he wanted. The opposition could rush to get the ball only when the catcher kicked it or placed it on the ground for someone else to kick a goal. In 1823, one such game was taking place when William caught the ball and, with a healthy disregard of the rules, instead of calling a mark and retreating, it is said that he ran with it toward the goal line. This is a myth. It is a story with dubious foundation based upon a changing account by an ex-pupil of the school called Matthew Bloxham. His article appeared in the Rugby School Meteor newsletter conveniently after William had disappeared. It is possible that the running in with the ball was popularised by Jem Mackey, a pupil who was later expelled from the school. Mackey wouldn't be good press for the developing game of rugby, at that time in crisis as the new Football Association, formed in 1863, threatened the gentleman's game. Additionally, a schism rose between southern and northern teams, resulting in a breakaway Northern Football Rugby Union, which developed a simpler set of rules for a new rugby league game. The Rugby Football Union, created in 1871, needed an origin hero for their game, which was alleged to have started in a Midlands public school, and so cricketer, Oxford graduate and clergyman William Webb Ellis landed the accolade of being the inventor. From 1843 to 1855, William was rector of St Clement Danes Church in the city of Westminster, London, England, then of Magdalen Laver, Essex, but no one seemed to know who he was or where he was after leaving England in the late 1860s. Nevertheless, the RFU had a plausible story for promoting their gentlemen's amateur game of rugby football. Menton became a popular health retreat following an article written by a prominent doctor expounding its recuperative qualities of climate and fresh sea air, especially for those with tuberculosis. William Webb Ellis settled here, possibly due to ill health, and died in 1872. His grave was discovered by sports journalist Ross McWhirter at Vieux Château Cemetery in 1958, and since then it has been renovated by the Fédération Française de Rugby. Views from this vantage point toward Garavan Marina and Italy are stunning. What am I doing? The area has a subtropical microclimate suiting winter visitors from northern regions and for the cultivation of citrus fruit. Jardin Beauvais, near the Plage de Casino, is the centre of the annual Lemon Festival in February. The popularity of the French Riviera grew in the 1880s, partly due to an American newspaper magnate called James Gordon Bennet Jr., who, among other antics, bought a restaurant just to get a table for dinner. His outrageous and wacky behaviour was the origin of the exclamation "Gordon Bennet," used when referring to something amazing, exasperating or unbelievable. Someone in Menton even named a promenade after him. Conger eel, huh? So last night we had conger eel. Went along the front there, and then back and up the stairs, up to the cemetery right at the top.
It's not quite as sunny as it has been. One of our preventers broke. It seems to be okay. Just a little bit problematic for me getting on and off the boat. So I wait for Jonathan to come back. Yeah, all the washing's still here as well. We get blown off.
You're in that fridge again?
Yes, I feel like I live in the fridge.
No, we are rocking and rolling a bit, aren't we?
Oh, we certainly are.
Nice swim?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm glad I went. It's just getting on and off the boat, Jonathan. I just
I
get
know,
a bit,
it's a bit...
I get a bit stressy. It doesn't seem to bother you at all, but it definitely bothers me.
It's not easy getting on and off when it's moving so much.
And you know, I always say, because of my varifocals, it just, my perception is not as it could be.
Our long journey from Hull to Dunkirk, through the French canals and rivers to the Mediterranean Sea and then eastwards to Menton, has been full of adventure and discovery. In more than 2,000 nautical miles of cruising, we moored, anchored or berthed in 41 different towns, cities and villages. Thank you, France. You have been wonderful.
Menton, you have been beautiful. Really, really pretty. Really enjoyed it. But now we go into waters unexplored.
Menton, this is options.
Just saying au revoir.
Heading towards San Remo. And it's all very complicated.
In Italy.